First of all, I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank you for your interest and for making the time today to allow us to share information on the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-13-14 program. We're very excited to launch the program beginning in the fall 2013. And I'm going to take you through, we've got about 11 slides that we'll go through today, and again, we'll take questions in the end. The Academy Player Development Philosophy is the first slide here. The purpose of the program is to expose U.S. players in a critical developmental phase to more age-appropriate programming. We want to continue to trickle down the current philosophy of the Development Academy to improve player development. One is more training, and that is quality and quantity. The requirements for the U-13-14 Academy program will be 4 times per week with a minimum of 1 rest day. We want increased time and hours on technical and tactical instruction and repetition, and guarantee that players take something from every session. And part of that is the weekly cycle, so it's not just about preparing for the next match or recovering from the last match, but part of a weekly and seasonal plan for long-term development through training. The next bullet point is less total games and more meaningful games. The new training to game ratio as part of the 13th Academy will be 4 trainings for every match. There'll be approximately a 30-game schedule over 30 weekends, and I'll review that schedule in slides ahead, and plus we'll have games as part of our events. The 13-14 program will use international rules, in particular no re-entry on substitution, and I'll address that later in the slides as well. Next slide, please, Melissa. Good. This is the training and competition model for the 13-14 program. It'll consist of league play, futsal, events. You'll also see the outline of the 10-month season at the bottom of this slide. It'll start with a real preseason, and then we'll have a fall competitive period, and then a transition period, a break for regeneration and recovery in December. January and February will be our futsal period. That'll culminate with a regionalized futsal tournament, which I'll address later in the presentation. And then we'll have a spring competitive period, which will go through March and June, which represents 16 weekends of matches, and then a culminating national event in June, July. And we're looking at a regionalized event. We're aiming to set that up during the fall competitive period. And the preparation and transition periods now provide players with the appropriate time to prepare, rest, and recover. And again, on the bottom, you'll see the outline of that 10-month season. Next slide, please, Melissa. Good. The admission criteria for new clubs. We're very excited to open up the Development Academy to new members. We currently have 80 clubs as part of our 15, 16, 17, 18 Academy, and we're looking to grow at the 13, 14 age group. Expansion will be limited, and that's to ensure a high quality of games and minimize the travel demands. We will utilize the existing Academy criteria that we use with our current members to evaluate the quality of clubs that apply. Some of those key elements are style of play. To touch on a few points on style of play, it would be an attacking style of play. We know that defensive systems do not develop players. It'll include possession, playing out of the back, overall prioritizes technique, players with technique over physical players. We're looking for clubs that emphasize development over winning. We will measure the quality of the coaching staff and the club's history of producing professional and national team players, and also their resources, their infrastructure, facilities, administrative capability. And all of the technical criteria are based on the U.S. soccer curriculum. Again, these are the same criteria that we use to evaluate the quality of clubs and give them feedback from our current membership. As we're looking at admission, we will have very few geographically remote clubs. And that is because we want to limit the number of trips. With the 13-14 age group, we're looking to reduce travel time and reduce costs. Other geographic considerations as we look to expand will be our analysis of the market in terms of the present and historical analysis of the players produced, number of national team players, hotbeds known for harvesting soccer talents. As always, when it comes to expansion, we'll be very careful not to add clubs where it may dilute the competition. New clubs will only play in the 13-14 age group, but clubs are open to apply for the older age groups in the future, but there's no guarantee for admission. I will add that this does allow us to get to know any new clubs. Once we make final decisions, that will be part of our 13-14 age group. As we do now with our current members, it will give us an opportunity to get to know clubs intimately. The annual membership renewal for the 13-14 age group will be based on the end-of-the-year evaluation grade, which is conducted, the technical part is conducted by our U.S. Soccer technical advisors. And the full criteria and grading system that can be viewed is available on our website if you want to see the standards, and we use international standards as part of that evaluation grade. Next slide, please, Melissa. To the fall and spring league format. The aim is to provide more meaningful games, reduce the total number of games, and limit the travel. We're really looking to clean up the competitive calendar of the U-13-14 age elite player in the U.S. We are planning 5 to 8 regionalized competitive leagues that will go in the fall and the spring. Again, we want to minimize travel time, the number of hotel stays, and eliminate flights. And we're looking at approximately 30 meaningful games, 30 weekends. The competitive model and the number of regionalized competitive leagues will be finalized at the close of the application process, and I'll share that timeline in the end. But once decisions are made and we have a clear picture of the new geography, we'll finalize those regionalized competitive leagues for fall and spring. Next slide, please, Melissa. Thank you. The league format. One of the most important things to mention on this call today is that the Academy program is not for everyone. It's only for the most committed players in the country. The 10-month season will increase the amount of meaningful training time for our most committed players. We also want to limit the outside activity to make sure there's meaningful training in games with appropriate rest periods. As part of our current rules, we'll trickle down to this age group, only 1 game per day and no participation for full-time players in the 13-14 Academy and outside competition. The only exception we make is for youth national team camps. There will be no official postseason at the 13-14 age group, and this is to reduce travel demands, but also to de-emphasize results. Thanks, Melissa. We will use international substitution rules. No re-entry and the limited substitution policy are best for player development. If I had to pick one thing that we've done at the 16s, 18s Academy age groups that's really impacted player development, as we've seen over the last 5 seasons of Development Academy, this would be at the top of the list. With no re-entry and limited substitution, players need to be smarter with and without the ball. They need to control the game and run less. It helps players learn to improve match management, and it helps us to move away from the frantic and artificially paced games. It also rewards teams that keep the ball and organize defenses. This is how we want to play. Next slide, please, Melissa. The roster rules. The 13-14 will be combined age group, a double age group that features the best pool of players across 2 age groups. It is based on January 1 birth date. The double age roster emphasizes player development as a long-term process, focused on the future potential of players. It ensures playoff opportunities to help accelerate the development of special players. It focuses on the potential of a player versus the present physical maturity of that player. We'll also, as we do with the 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, have a 25% start rule, and this provides opportunities for all committed players. We want clubs to invest in all players on their roster. The Winter Futsal Program. We're very excited to add the futsal component to the 13-14 age group because it supports the philosophy of this developmental phase of the academy program and provides complementary training for players to improve technique, their comfort with the ball, and their decision-making in small spaces. As part of our initiation of the Winter Futsal Program, academy coaches will receive training in coaching futsal, and clubs will be expected to provide futsal training for their players and participate in local futsal leagues where appropriate during January and February. And then we will host a series of regional futsal tournaments in February, March to culminate the futsal period. Our aim is to organize a pilot event this year, this coming February, March, in test markets, and we'll keep everybody posted on that. Next slide, please. Thank you. The regional and national events. Our events provide valuable opportunity for our players and teams to face new competition. It provides variety to play against teams that they otherwise would not have the opportunity to play against. Still, we want to limit the travel at these age groups. So each club will participate in one regional event. Again, right now we're aiming at the fall competitive period for that event, and one national event, not including the futsal event. And that national event will be the culminating event towards the end of the season. The format and the location and the dates of these events are still being finalized, and we'll keep everybody posted. Expenses for clubs. The clubs are responsible for all the expenses related to training and travel, and they're responsible for player and coach registration fees. These player fees will be higher than the older age groups of our current development academy age groups, and this is to assist with program expenses, for example, referees, events, and player insurance. U.S. Soccer will supply game balls, Gatorade, scholarship funds, league management, and technical support, which includes scouting and match and training evaluation. Good, I'll finish with our timeline for the 13-14 program. October 24th, as you know, the application period opened. We've received many of your applications, so thank you. On December 1st, the application period will close. On March 1st, we'll have our admissions decision sent to the new clubs. And then on March 15th, the new clubs will be expected to confirm their participation. In June, we'll have an orientation at our academy playoffs. And then September 1 is the launch of the season. Clubs may begin preseason prior to September 1. Before I open the call for any questions, I wanted to point out that on a call this big, it may be hard to get to all the questions, but I would encourage everybody that the technical advisors, our 9 full-time technical advisors, are the main point of contact, because I think there's some questions that may be more specific or related to the markets that you're in.